You are listening to Hillary Topper on Air, the small business podcast to help you grow both personally and professionally. And now, here's your host, Hillary Topper.
In the quest for endurance greatness, recovery isn't a luxury. It's the foundation for champions. I'm Hillary Topper, and this is Hillary Topper on Air, the Endurance Sports Edition. Today, I have the great pleasure of sitting down with Jono, a mechanical engineer and founder of MyoStorm, one of my favorite companies. So, Jono, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So let's jump right in. What originally sparked your interest in developing these innovative recovery solutions for endurance athletes?
Yeah, great question. My whole life, I've always been an athlete. I've been through the experience of physical therapy and injuries and recovery, and the whole plethora of the experience of managing pain, right, as an athlete. And when I got to college, I by chance ended up in a research group that was cross-disciplinary between physiology, exercise science, and mechanical engineering. So I was a mechanical engineering student, and this specific research lab focused on the study of vibration. And there's a lot of research going on with like whole body vibration platforms, which I think is a lot more heavily researched, but not a lot had been done on localized vibration, right? Like what happens if you just apply vibration locally to a muscle? And vibration's been used in massage forever. Obviously there's been all kinds of devices out there and techniques used forever, but nobody really understood what was happening, right? What was the effect on the body from vibration? And that's what I was tasked with kind of helping learn as part of this research group. I was asked to put together a study that would utilize certain frequencies and amplitudes of vibration to see what was happening to the body. And I was excited about this, obviously, because it was something I was passionate about. Something I always wished I could do was to cross the engineering world with the fitness world that I'd been a part of for so long. So I was just really excited about it. And that was kind of what initially kicked off the birthplace of MyoStorm. It was during that research that we learned that not all vibration really is created equal on a localized vibration. Different frequencies and amplitudes can have different effects, right? Some vibration will produce no physiological response in the body at all. Some can be even harmful. And different frequencies can help with muscle contraction and increasing strength, and others, for relaxation. So we tried to do our best to optimize the frequency and amplitude settings of vibration to just be perfect for muscular recovery, for pain reduction and therapy.
Now, could you tell us a little bit about the different products that you have in your line?
Yeah, absolutely. So the core products that we have, the flagship product that we have is the Meteor, which is the vibrating heated massage ball. So it has 4 therapeutic vibration settings as well as therapeutic heat. So the heat will get to 120 degrees. It's all USB-C charging, battery powered. So you just recharge it and you can use it on vibration. You can use it on heat or both, just to optimize the recovery experience. And then we also have the miniature version, which I can kind of put these side by side. You can kind of see the size difference in these. And the benefit, obviously, to the smaller one is a little bit more targeted, a little bit more pinpoint. If you've really got those trouble spots, you can dig into them a little bit better. And our core products are these massage balls, just because we felt that they're slightly more versatile than a lot of the other recovery and massage products you'll see out there, where you can use them really any way that you can think of. You can target any place on your body, whether it's your feet to the knot underneath your shoulder blade, kind of. You can find a way to get in there, whether you're rolling on the ground or against the wall or just sitting in a chair. And what's really important to us at MyoStorm is developing products that are unique, that are different, that are providing some additional benefit to what's already out there in the space, right? We're not really into just launching another knockoff, this product or that product. We want to make sure that everything that we put out there is useful or different or unique, whether that's in the scientific application or just in the versatility. So with those two massage balls, we also have some accessories, which I can show. We have this foam roller, which is kind of cool because you can actually, it's got a gap in there where you can put the meteor inside and turn the foam roller into a vibrating foam roller. And that's useful if you have bigger muscle groups like the hamstrings or the back, where maybe you don't want something so pinpoint targeted, but you still want to get that pressure and the feeling of that vibration. And we also have a massage and stretch strap. So there's a strap right here with a pouch that you can put the meteor in, and that just can assist with getting the hard to reach spots, right? If it's a little bit more troublesome to get, you don't have a chair that's tall enough to get right on the shoulder, or maybe you're injured, not quite as flexible enough to get something on the back. So just an assisted massage and stretching tool. And that's the core lineup right now. But we do have some all new, unique, and exciting things planned for this year, which I'm sure we can talk about down the road when we're ready for that.
Awesome. Well, let's take you back a couple of years. I know that you were on Shark Tank. Can you share with us that experience, like what it was like, and also how it impacted the trajectory of your company?
Yeah, absolutely. Shark Tank was just a blast, and obviously it was kind of a surprise to us that we even got on. I think there's a few ways that you can get on Shark Tank. You can either go stand in line and audition. You can submit an online application, and there's also a group of people at Shark Tank that will reach out to you if they feel like you're a good fit. And we launched the first version of the Meteor on a Kickstarter, and I think it was that Kickstarter that got the team at Shark Tank's attention. And I got an email that looked kind of sketchy. There was like typos and said, "This is Shark Tank," and I'd received lots of stuff like that before. So I was like, this seems a little bogus. I'm just going to delete this. But something stopped me from clicking delete, and I was like, yeah, I'll just hear them out. So I responded, and they called me, did a phone interview, and like, hey, yeah, we think you're a great fit. And it turned out to be legit, and we made it through, and it was great. The Shark Tank, they do a really great job of making it fun for the entrepreneurs. It's a lot of work. There's a lot that goes into, like, the paperwork and everything, getting onto it, and lots of different steps, which I can't share a lot of the details about. But it is a process, right? I think 30,000 something people apply to be on Shark Tank every year, and maybe 60 or 70 like actually make it on TV in a given season, after all of the steps and the cuts and everything. So it was fun. And the other thing that you don't see, obviously, is it's edited. When we're standing in front of the sharks, you see maybe 10 minutes of it, but you're really there for quite a bit longer, and there's a lot more discussion happening. And they do a great job of getting the important moments and stuff for the TV aspect. But that's one of the things that people are always surprised about, because our episode specifically, there's all these big shocking things. You're like, why did you do that? Why did you say that? And it's like, well, you missed the other 20 minutes that they didn't show. That would have justified some of that stuff a little bit more. But no, it was a great experience, and it was really crazy in terms of the growth. I remember coming back, and they let you know a couple weeks beforehand that your episode's going to air. So you can kind of prepare for it. I wish we had more time to prepare, but they do give you a little bit of notice. And so we're sitting there waiting for our episode to come on. And the second you start walking down the hallway, like we showed up on the TV, thousands and thousands of people like visited the site, and our customer service, chat things were exploding, and website was breaking. There's just so much traffic. So it was really cool, and that really launched the trajectory of MyoStorm. So it was a great experience to be on, and it was a really great thing for the business as well. So yeah, all good.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Well, before we move on, I have to say I'm so appreciative of our sponsor and must take this time out to thank him. Please support our sponsor and tell them that you heard about them on Hillary Topper on Air. Special thanks to PlayTry, swim, bike, run, a retail and online bike shop and multi-sport specialist. Now back to you, Jono. So what role do you see technology playing in the future of endurance sports and recovery?
A big part. I mean, it's already a big part, of endurance sports. And I think since we launched MyoStorm in the year or two before that, technology and recovery started just accelerating tremendously. And we see, some of the big brands out there that are leading out a lot on this recovery tech, and even training technology, which is really cool and really exciting. And the advancements in technology are allowing us to just test more and get more data. And it's interesting how things have changed, right? When I was an athlete, as a teenager going to physical therapy for injuries and stuff, the protocol and the technology that was used on me then is some of it's totally different because the science is telling us different things, right? It used to be very much a lot of cold application for injury, and a lot's shifted away to that and heat because of the science. But technology is continually getting better. Really great companies out there that are launching stuff constantly, and we're kind of right at the cusp of it. Right when we started our research, very little had been done or published about vibration itself. Right, so that's really a new concept, and what we're learning is just getting better and better and better and better. And can we optimize the performance of that even additionally? We're also seeing some really cool other benefits of vibration application in sports, right? One of the big fields of research that we've seen in endurance sports recently is all around sleep, right? Like, I think we've learned over the last few years that sleep is such an important part of recovery. And we're starting to learn that different frequencies of vibration help improve sleep function, right? Like,
wow.
Similar to helping, stimulate the nervous system in certain ways for recovery, it also is helping with sleep. So there's very new fields of research that we're starting to discover because of, this research that's started in the vibration space.
Wow, that's amazing. Could you share with us some success stories that you've had?
Yeah. So for me, obviously, success of the business, Shark Tank was just like an awesome experience, and it accelerated things a lot. So we've had the opportunity to, see athletes in all types of professional sports using the product and having positive experiences with them. And as the founder and owner, like the most important thing for me, the thing that gets me the most excited is anytime we see just customer reviews coming in who have had a positive experience, right? So we've really optimized the device to be great for sports and recovery and athletics, but also it's one of its biggest applications is just in general pain, right? The everyday person who's trying to like take back their life from chronic pain. And regularly we're getting reviews in. Just last week we had somebody who's like, hey, I had shoulder surgery 12 years ago and my shoulder's never been the same, and I've used a Meteor twice and it's basically gone, my pain, right? Like after 12 years of trying to figure something out. The really big one that we've been leaning into and we're actually working to get some published research on is around plantar fasciitis, which is a big one for endurance and runners and stuff. We found that that's probably the number one review that we get is people have like, I've had plantar fasciitis for a decade or 4 years or whatever, and I've started using the Meteor, just rolling out my foot, and it's basically gone. And even though I did the research on the device and I helped kind of develop and invent it and know that it works, there's always this experience when you get a review of somebody who's felt it, you're like, it worked, really? It did it? And you get so excited that it's actually doing what you developed it to do, and making a huge impact on people's lives, right? Not just, oh yeah, it feels good. It's like, no, this changed my quality of life significantly. So
yeah, I would also think that it would be beneficial for people with arthritis, as and it happens actually to young people too. I mean, arthritis just goes the gamut, right? It's not just people over the age of 50, I mean, my daughter's like, 30 and she's got it. So, can you talk a little bit about that, like how it could help people with arthritis? Because there's always
Yeah.
areas that,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's true. Yeah, we do have people that are using it for arthritis. My father-in-law uses it regularly. He just holds it in his hands whenever his hands start to tighten up from arthritis. But and this has been one of the interesting challenges for MyoStorm, is because the device, the vibration, has such a wide scope of potential benefit. It's been hard for us to like focus on, hey, what do we want to say we're solving in marketing? Because I think people get skeptical when you say it can help with everything.
Yeah.
So we've tried to narrow in on certain things that are really specific. But the cool thing about the vibration is it has three main things that we tried to optimize it for. One was increasing blood flow, which there's tons of literature out there that shows that the increase in blood flow just improves the healing to an area, right? It's going to speed up recovery and pain reduction in any area that you're seeing an increase in blood flow. So one, the increase in blood flow. Two is to decrease muscle stiffness. So we can actually measure that the vibration will reduce the stiffness of the muscle itself. But then the third thing is that vibration interacts with the central nervous system, right? The nervous system of the body is what's really in charge of healing you, right? Your body knows what to do to kind of repair itself and reduce pain. And the level of vibration that we use is interacting with the nervous system in such a way to help reduce pain perception, which this is the really useful thing for people that have arthritis. So the easy way to explain it is, if you've ever like hit your head on something, the first reaction that you see anybody do without being taught is that they'll kind of rub that spot on their head. And the reason for that is because there's two types of pain, right? There's like that deep aching, throbbing pain. And then there's like a fast response pain. And that fast response, we kind of experience more with the nerve endings in our skin. So when we rub the skin and stimulate it, it overpowers the other pain signals that you're feeling, right? Which is what creates the soothing effect. And so we found a way, this vibration frequency, if you stimulate the mechanoreceptors and the pain receptors in your skin, it'll actually kind of push that deeper type of pain, and especially arthritic pain, just kind of away. And that effect can last not just while you're doing it, but for a significant amount of time. When it's, imagine rubbing your head versus, the vibration. The vibration is just like an amplified version of that. So to some degree, we are kind of masking and putting that pain aside, which for arthritis is great. And even for injury, it's great because you stop muscle guarding, which helps you recover faster, right? Because you're able to use the body in the proper way, and you're not, babying it and exacerbating the injury. So yeah, basically anywhere you're experiencing pain, whether it's arthritic, whether it's sciatica, whether it's muscle pain, in theory, the meteor will help with that because it's interacting with your nervous system in a way to mask the perception of pain, as well as to stimulate your body's natural ability to want to heal itself.
It's awesome. Now, can you tell me or talk a little bit about some of the misconceptions about recovery and how MyoStorm aims to debunk them?
Yes. This is kind of a question I want to be careful about and make sure that I am not saying anything that gets taken the wrong way, because there are so many methods out there for recovery and so many different devices and so many things, and most of them, if not all of them, have their place. The biggest problem we see in recovery is how people are applying and using those methods. For example, percussion massagers, right? The massage guns that are extremely popular, had like a huge wave of popularity, and they feel awesome, right? And we've done a ton of research on percussion, and it was one of those things that's like, hey, the percussion world is just saturated, so there's no point in us putting something out there that's just going to be another percussion device. And even though percussion's been used, the research behind it, the why behind it is something that I think the was kind of lacking for a while. So what we found is that people were misusing percussion quite a bit. The amplitude on a lot of percussion devices are aggressive, right? So they're high amplitudes, and what a high amplitude can do, and this applies to vibration as well, right? If your vibration is too hard, there's similar vibration in percussion, but percussion specifically, it's always a high amplitude, and that can actually subconsciously induce micro muscle contractions, right? Because the muscle in the area that's being percussed will tense to try to protect themselves from an impact, which is a normal body response. So when your muscle contracts and you keep pounding it, you're actually just fatiguing it, right? It might feel nice, I'm on a sore area, but in reality, you're actually fatiguing your muscle. So if you're doing it, to warm up, or if you're like an athlete that's competing, we've actually seen people who have bruising in areas that they were pounding, to try to like get knots out and stuff, thinking it was helping them. So I actually think percussion is great, and in the hands of a therapist, it can be really, really good. And if you know what you're doing, it can be really good. But we found that a lot of those tools can be used unsafely, which was one of the reasons we developed Meteor the way we did, because we've tried to foolproof it so anybody can use it safely. Especially with percussion, you don't want to be using it, on sensitive bony areas like your neck or like really close to the knee. And I do think that a lot of these percussion companies are getting better, right? They're coming out with more cushioned tips and, lower amplitudes and adjustable things that are I think are becoming a lot safer, which is awesome. So that's cool. But anyway, that's just one topic of percussion, but I think that exists in all forms of recovery. There's awesome tools out there, but people are using them sometimes incorrectly, or they see all this hype and they just get it without any education, and they're using it for the wrong things, or applying it wrong. So we're trying to make tools that are kind of foolproof in a way that people can't abuse them or use them incorrectly, because the last thing we want is people to injure themselves or hurt themselves, or actually, reduce their recovery when they're thinking they're helping it. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. What advice do you have for endurance athletes looking to optimize their recovery routine and performance?
Yeah. One, I think rolling out should be an integral part of it after any activity. And I'm a big culprit of this too in my training, is that you kind of feel like, oh, I'm feeling good, and you forget, to roll out, and then you suffer for it, right? And and the other thing that like we kind of tell all customers is one, you just need to learn your own body, and this goes with recovery, it goes with diet, it goes with training, is that everyone's different, everyone responds differently to everything, right? So not everyone's going to respond to vibration therapy the same way, and it's about learning your body and testing different things and trying things, and also educating yourself, again, like what is the proper way to be rolling out or using these tools. And I think that's the biggest advice that I can give. Obviously, I can go into a lot deeper pitch on why our product is great to have in the lineup, but ultimately, we have some people who maybe it's not the best use, right? Like for what they're specifically trying to do, and our goal is not to just sell people our product, but to actually help people improve and recover and live their lives better. So number one piece of advice is just to learn your own body, and try things and do what you respond to.
Very good. Thank you. And finally, where could our listeners get in touch with you to learn more about MyoStorm and the Meteor?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously our website, www.myostorm.com, there's a lot of great information there. You can reach out to us. We've got contact information on the site through support. Contacting me on LinkedIn. I respond to stuff there. And then the product's available to purchase from our website and on Amazon. And we're more than happy to answer any questions and discuss with anyone who may want to learn more.
Great. Thank you so much, Jono. I appreciate you being on the show. I also want to thank our sponsor once more, Play Try Swim Bike Run, a retail bike shop and multi-sport specialist. For more information about Play Try, go to playtrystore.com. I also want to thank our listeners for tuning in. And if you want more information on this show or any other show, you can visit us at hillarytopper.com. Find us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Alexa, Apple Podcasts, you name it, we're out there. Have a great week and we'll see you next time.